This is the AI Music Revolution, brought to you by JG Beats Lab. JG Beats Lab is a methodology company for serious musicians working with AI tools. Not tips, not hacks, a complete system for getting consistent professional output from platforms like Suno and Murica. We call it the unlocked system. The framing is simple. You can be a vending machine operator, pressing buttons and accepting whatever the AI gives you back, or you can be a director, understanding the platforms well enough to get exactly what you want from them. Lane 2 work, human-authored, AI-assisted music creation. That's what this show is built on. Here's today's episode. Hello and welcome to the AI Music Revolution podcast. I am your host, Josh Kettleland, the founder of JG Beats Lab. This week in our Red Lab Conversations, I sit down with Inge Nilsen, who is a Norwegian DJ, a producer, an electronic music veteran whose career maps the entire evolution of the dance music scene. Inge got his first DJ mixer at 12. By the time he was 16, he was organizing school parties. And then in 1991, he threw his first techno party in Oslo, before the electronic scene had even splintered into genres we know today. His parties grew to fill the biggest venues in Oslo, 10,000 people at the peak. He was the first promoter to book Armin van Buuren in Oslo. He toured with Tiesto. He's been releasing on labels like Armada music since the mid-2000s. That's the resume. But what makes this conversation matter is what Inge is doing now. After stepping back from touring and to raise kids, Inge gave AI music a second look at a friend's urging. The results is Humanoid Intelligence, what he believes is the first fully AI-generated trance album. 6 to 8 weeks from concept to completion. He's not just prompting and publishing either. He's generating tracks in Suno, splitting stems, and organically remixing the AI outputs in Logic to dial in his specific sound. He's directing AI video projects featuring a reoccurring French accented AI character of himself. He's pushing the tools harder than most creators ever will. This episode covers a lot of ground. The historical parallel between today's anti-AI resistance and the backlash against synthesizers and samplers in the 80s and 90s, which he lived through. The cognitive dissonance some artists feel when integrating AI into their workflows. Why Inge believes AI raises the floor for small creators, rather than threatening the serious ones. His specific approach to using fader for mixing and mastering refinement, and his take on why musicians who refuse to adapt to these tools will be left behind, regardless of how loudly they protest. Inge is exactly the kind of guest this podcast was built for. Someone with decades of industry credibility who isn't hedging on AI music. He's all in. He's specific about his methodology, and he has the experience to recognize when something is genuinely transformative versus when it's hype. Let's get into it. Inge, welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today to share your experience and wisdom across music, and especially as we get into the frontier of AI music creation. But before we get into all of that, let's start with a little bit of a background. Like, what is your experience in music, the music industry, that has kind of brought you to this point of experimentation with AI music?
Yeah, I got a mixer, my DJ mixer, first time when I was 12. So I started to learn how to beat mix and stuff when I was very young. And started playing out on town when I was 16 with organizing school parties and stuff. And from there went to be like a resident DJ for different places around in Norway, small clubs, bigger clubs. Eventually I moved to Oslo and got into the student society, and that was bigger venues and bigger names. We started with rock music and indie rock, the Brit pop wave in the 90s. I was in on that. I organized my first techno party in 1991. That was before there even was different genres in the electronic scene, you know. So before that, we had this synth wave with Depeche Mode and all these famous German synth bands that was playing in the 80s and 90s. And one of my friends was kind of big in that scene. He has a band called Apoptygma Berserk. And he worked with the band Front 242, and that was the first time I was in studio and taking part of a process with producing a song. Oslo, we started to make techno parties alongside organizing concerts. And around 95, there was kind of like a separation in the scene. Something came on, something called trance. My parties just grew bigger and bigger, and it ended up with the biggest venue here in Oslo with 10,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
And I was actually the first to book Armin van Buuren. He's been the world's biggest DJ for many years. Yep. And I got him his first job in Oslo on my concept called Hyperstate. Tiesto, I've been on tour with him. We started to produce on our own, me and some friends, a friend called Einar. And we had some releases early 2004. That's when we started. Yeah, I had my first kid in 2011, and then I've been kind of withdrawn from the scene a little bit because kids takes time.
Well, they do. I guess they do.
But never left. Always had the passion for music and had fun with it. So we've been releasing some on Armada Music or some other labels in the genre. I was kind of like making an album last year. Started making an album last year or the year before, but it goes slowly because time. And this year I was actually busy making an online course for trading. And then my friend calls me, Inge, you have to try this AI stuff. I said, yeah, I tried it last year. I put in some songs and it didn't sound good. I said, yeah, but try again. And then I tried again and I was like, ooh, things have changed quick. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to make an album. And I think it's the first trance album totally made with AI.
Oh, nice.
And it's called Humanoid Intelligence. I made it in 6 to 8 weeks. I spent in the evenings to create it. It's not perfect for like DJing and stuff like that because not everything is in sync on beat, you know, for mixing. Yep. But I'm a trance listener. If this can be an odd album that the Novers, they pull it out on the after party or something, and it's like, ooh, yeah. that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Yeah.
What tool did you was that Suno? Did you
Suno? Yeah. Suno. Yeah.
How did you do your any type of mixing and mastering with that?
Oh, I use Slate and I put it in Logic. Some of them I just took it as a word and I just mastered them. Yeah. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually remixing them organically, you know. So I'm remixing the AI.
Are you splitting stems or yeah? It's not always perfect. When you get the beat, when you get it on beat, then it's more easy, and you can change the kick, you can change the bass. You can add your own loops. You can build around it. You could add your own elements. The AI tools now, do you feel like, does that make you less of a musician now because utilizing AI, or how does that make you?
It makes me 10 times better, really. And also with the video tools, I'm having a ball. I created this character of myself, you know, and he's just living his own life now. It's funny. Blue dress and blue hat and blue beret and with a French accent. The first video I made it in one evening with Freebeat. And it's the same there, you know, you just describe and you can upload yourself or others as characters. So I took a picture of my wife, put it into Grok, changed her face a little bit, put on some makeup, make her look like a punk Asian woman.
What these AI tools are doing is they're raising the floor.
Yeah.
They're not like impeding the ceiling. So if you take creative energy and now all of a sudden the floor has been raised, think how high you can go with these things. When you're dealing with the limitations from 30 years ago, there's only so high you can go.
Yeah.
And now those are baseline. That's where you start at. And so
the development is going so fast. It's like last week there was a little bit mud in the base in Suno. Now Suno 0.5 came out. It's gone.
Yep,
it's gone, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen within a year.
What would you like to see these tools develop into, and what do you think that they will develop into, or feature functionality that they will roll out?
Yeah, well, it's always some resistance when new things come. You mentioned that before. I don't know if you were recording or not, but it's like when synthesizers and samplers came along, there was hard resistance, and people didn't. This is definitely not music. It shouldn't be allowed. So things.
Well, and you lived through that because you were in the electronic music space. So I'm sure that you caught a lot of that on the front lines.
Yes. And I was even a breakdancer in the early 80s.
Yes.
And that met resistance as well. Rap music, that wasn't rap. What's that? That's And see where it is now. And what I hope this can be is like there are so many creative people there that never had the chance to get their stuff out because they've been blocked with the cost for studio, time, whatever it is. And if they have a brilliant idea, then it will live. If the idea isn't so great, then of course at least they get to complete it for themselves. And if you have something amazing, people will pick up on it. And I think it gives people a better chance to reach their goals, to have success if you use it right. I think it will be adapted, like mainstream adapted, when some people, for front runners, show them that this is what we use. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Dr. Dre who said that if everybody's using it and you're not, you're in risk of being left behind, because this tool is amazing. It's fantastic. I had songs for like I said, 12 years. I put it in, done. And it's like you can just fine tune it with your prompts. You know what you want, what style you want, what instruments you want, when you want them to come in. You just write it down, and it's there.
Yeah. Since you're inside of the industry, I'm assuming that, and I know you are around other musicians, other artists, other people inside of the music industry.
Yeah.
What is the feedback you get when you mention that you are experimenting with AI tools in the music space?
No, people about my old partner. He's like, he don't like it. He don't like it at all, not at all. And a couple of other producer friends, they are reluctant, but I am not going to mention names, but some big names are using it quite openly, and some of them are using it in the hiding. I agree with Dre. If you don't adapt, then you will be left behind.
Yeah, I would say so. So. Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of being an artist. I grew up an artist. I switched into technology for many years of my life to actually earn a paycheck, because it's like, but that's the thing with art is when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be an artist. That was it. I wanted to be an artist, and it was like, but the world appreciates art, but also they don't. You get discouraged from pursuing art because that's not a real career. That's not a real, right? Like, go and do something real, and you can save art as, the side hobby. Yeah. Well, that's fine and dandy when you were young But as you get older and you have responsibilities in life, like you don't have time for those side hobbies when you're working for a living and you're raising a family and you've got a mortgage and you've got this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. And so it ends up getting squeezed to the periphery of your life, right? And so
yes.
I love the idea that art becomes more central to a lot of our existence because of the power it has. Quick break in the episode. If what you're hearing today is connecting with you, the place to start is the minimum starter kit. 3 books, $27. Make it, release it, promote it. The first book is Unlock Suno, the complete guide. This is the methodology for getting consistent, professional output from Suno. The Suno stack mental mode, persona work, style box weighting, the director's cut workflow. The second book is Unlock Music Rights and Registration, royalty collection, copyright protection, ASCAP, MLC, Sound Exchange, DistroKid, and the disclosure landscape we're now operating in. Everything you need to actually get paid for the music you're releasing. The third book is Unlock Music Promotion, how to get heard once your music is out there. Playlist pitching, audience building, the platforms that move the needle and the ones that don't. Make it, release it, promote it. $27 at jgbeatslab.com/store. Back to the episode.
Yeah, like this character I made, we had like I had this idea. It's like the stage of the music scene today is just terrible. We need to get back to what is important, to the essence of what is important, and that is the music itself and the art.
Yeah.
With a French accent, the art.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. So, but I think we will get more good music than we had in years, because it really enhances everything that's good about. If you put your own song into it, it can enhance everything that's good about the song. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Some of the stuff we had that we put through there, and for me, it's been like a relief. It's like you say, when you have kids and stuff, you don't have time. If I should go to studio, I have to travel to the studio. Hours, days, weeks.
Yep.
And sometimes months and years before a song is done. So here you just make it complete, and you put it in there, and you have all the elements, you have the melody, and Suno catches up on it, and it brings it to life. It's nothing but amazing.
What will this look like 3-6 months from now, a year from now?
Oh, it's going to go fast. I think it's going to go fast. I haven't tried the voice cloning. I was thinking yesterday to sit down and just try to sing into studio and try to just create a song that way, but I didn't have time. But I had time to just sit there and write. Okay, instead of I pitched down the vocals from 133 to 110, kept the pitch flawless, and started to add elements under it. Started with a kick, then snare, then percussion, and then you had some bass, and then you had some pads, and then you had some what do you call it, orchestra strings and stuff. Yeah. And it's like I think I spent like an hour, and it was done.
Yeah,
done.
I want to know more about your creative process with that, because I like the way that you just talked about that. So you started with the voice.
Yeah.
So so do you go in and just refine the voice prompts inside of Suno until you get them to where you want, and then move to the next layer, or what does that look like for you?
Can do that as well. Yeah. Yep. It's like one song recently, and I think I had 80 versions of it or something.
All right. Yes, I know.
But when it hits, wow. Yeah. But yeah, it's fine tuning, or with the voicing or anything. It's fine tuning. And you also have this cover thing that you have there, and you can just you can set how many percent of audio influence you want in it, and style influence and everything. It's like it's almost unreal what you can do with it. There's no limits. There's no roof.
You utilized fader, your kind of your experimentation, and so I'm eager to hear your experience with fader for sure.
Where should I start? It's just like it's the best way of learning everything in mixing I've ever seen. It's like I can make a song myself, and I can make it up to like 80%, but then I need an engineer to go and fix it for me. Not anymore. It helps you from A to Z. It's you get all the levels right, you get all the frequencies right, you get rid of the muddiness, you get rid of the sharp noises, you get rid of all the things that shouldn't be there, and it sounds really, really good. And this tool, wow, I really hope this goes mainstream for you. It's fantastic, really, really fantastic.
Like, what does that look like in your workflow? Like, when do you pull fader in? How do you pull fader in? Like, what kind of questions do you ask it? What do you ask it to do for you?
No, it checks all the levels. It checks if I have a file and I say, okay, what do I need to do with this? Okay, we start with the kick. Where should I put the kick? Okay, you put it down to minus 8 dB. Where should the bass be? Okay, it should be down to around minus 10. And the bass should be pushed up around 80 hertz, and the kick should be a little bit lower. And it just makes the workflow so easy and fast. And I upload the song to Suno, and then it analyzes, and not to Suno, but to Fader. Then it analyzes the file, and it tells you where you need to do the work. It's and it's very helpful if it's something you don't understand. It's just can you just show me with an image, and it shows you with an image. And if you have your settings, if you wonder if your settings are good, you just take a screenshot, upload it. You need to put a little bit more gain on the limiter, and then you have it done. Wow.
I also use it in my own mixing and mastering as well. And so fader is not me by any stretch of imagination. Like I use it all the time to ask questions because it's just really knowledgeable. So,
yeah. I mean, for people who just want to do their own mastering, you can just put in the master, and then it tells you where you should put your limit, what tools you should use, everything you need to do your own mastering. And this is with your package, comes with the package. It's unreal. Yeah. And another thing that we have, most of us who work with music, is that we never know when it's done.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
This fader tells you it's done.
Yep. It does.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Done.
It'll tell you, like, ship it. No, we've squeezed everything, all the juice that we can out of this thing.
Yes. So. Don't touch anything.
Yeah. That's right.
You only ruin it. It tells you.
There's only one way to go now, and it's backwards. You don't go backwards.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Now this is a gift. Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you think AI exists in the future of music in general?
Ooh, I think it's going to be a big part of it. I believe so. Of course, you will always have the organic. I don't understand why people who work with it or work without it are so worried. Of course, if you have a good song and you reach out and you reach people, then it will always hit. A good melody is a good melody. A good message is a good message. The thing here is that this helps smaller people to come forward and get their things out.
Yeah.
And they give them the chance. And I think, I don't like everything about AI, by the way.
Same. Yep.
This is the surveillance stuff and stuff, but for creative stuff, I cannot see a future where this is not the biggest thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of artists that I talk to who feel some cognitive dissonance with AI.
Yeah.
So does that experience resonate with you?
Yeah, very much so. Been called a Suno warrior.
Yeah.
So, but who cares? I don't care about it. It's always the late adapters that attacks, you know.
Yeah.
So you just have to take it until people realize what this really is all about.
Do you think that people who is what you are doing with AI tools in the music space, is that art?
Definitely, and also with the even especially maybe with the movies, I think it's this is where you can get your imaginations, all your weird thoughts, all your weird characters, everything you can get out, and with the music as well. It brings it in. It enhances the art that was already there. And yeah, sure, you can create even from scratch with Suno. And if you direct it, you create it. I think that's where we're gonna end, because right now people are, should we get royalties for this? Should we get like mechanical rights for this? Should we get money from radio? Can we put it in ads, stuff like that? And what I think this will end up with is that if you have directed it and formed the process, if you just said, write me a hit, okay, maybe then you can have a problem. But if you write and direct it, this is your creation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're gonna end up. But the way to there probably gonna be bumpy a little bit and it's gonna be big discussions, and people are gonna yell at each other and call each other names and everything. So,
but I think that you're taking the right approach, and that is you're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for these big companies, the record labels, the industry to come and say, hey, Inge, it's okay for you to start using AI.
We will see pretty soon, I think, if they accept it or not. And yeah, when they just have to find the artists that can use this in a good way, in the best way. Then they will still have the best artists.
Yeah. Inge, I have loved this conversation so much. Been very enjoyable. And as we now approach the end of the podcast, are there any closing thoughts, or is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to answer? Or floor is open, it is yours.
No, I'm just grateful, man. That I just saw this ad on Facebook, and I thought, yeah, $9.99 for this book, and then you had the offer with this mixing AI tool. I thought, yeah, let's try that. And I even sent you an email. Can I do this? Will this fit for trance? You know, so, yeah, sure. Okay, it's only $119 or something. Yeah. So yeah, it's been. I haven't read all the books. I read the first book, and that was pretty much the same. I came to myself when I was making the album, that you have to create your prompts the right way to do stuff, you know, and create your sound in Suno. You create your own sound character there.
Yeah.
And but I've been just stuck with this mixing tool. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm really grateful I found you.
That was Inge Nilsen. A few things from this conversation that I think are worth holding on to. The historical parallel matters here. When Inge says he has lived through this cycle before, synthesizers, samplers, drum machines, and all the technology that supposedly were not real music, he's not making a rhetorical point. He is describing his actual career, his actual lived experience. The same critics who said sampling was not real music in the 80s are the people whose work now sits in the canon of electronic music history. The current resistance to AI music will be in the same position 10 years from now. The resistance always loses to the work. The methodology matters more than the tools. Inge is not using Suno as a slot machine. He is generating tracks, splitting stems, remixing in Logic, mastering with discipline, and refining until the work matches his intent. That is lane 2 production. That is the director's cut workflow. The tools are an amplifier of skill, and Inge has decades of skill to amplify. The age argument is real. Inge has been doing this for decades. He's a working musician with kids, a long career behind him, an active project still ahead. He does not need AI music to make it. He is choosing AI music because it lets him finish work that's been sitting around for years. That is the actual case for AI in serious music production. It's not novelty. It's not gimmick. It's removing the friction between idea to finished work. If you are someone with musical experience who has been hesitant about AI tools, Inge's perspective is worth sitting with. He is not telling you to abandon your craft. He's telling you that your craft makes you the kind of person who can do this extremely well. And that's the cost of staying out is higher than the cost of getting in. If you want to go deeper into the methodology, the Suno workflows, or the mixing and mastering approach Inge mentioned, everything is documented in the books and research reports at jgbeatslab.com. Red Lab Access is the full system. Every book, every research report, the Blueprints library, the 3-song sprint course, Fader as your AI studio manager, and the private community of creators doing serious work. One payment, lifetime access. jgbeatslab.com/red-lab-access. If you want to follow Inge's work, his AI trance album, Humanoid Intelligence, is out now. Worth a listen. That is it for this episode of Red Lab Conversations. New episodes drop regularly with guests who are doing real work at the edge of where AI and music meet. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you don't miss the next one. I'm Josh Getleland, founder of JG Beats Lab. Until next time, stop gambling, start directing. One more thing before you go. Every Thursday morning, I send out a newsletter, 1 email a week. It's where I share what I'm working on in the studio, the research running the lab, and the methodology I'm refining in real time. New books, new blueprints, new findings from the Red Lab protocol research. If that sounds useful, the sign up is right on the homepage at jgbeatslab.com. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next Friday.